Are you garbage?
I had always thought, and that's why, your upbringing's well documented, like we said. So
Yeah.
I'm curious about the years right before A Bronx Tale, because I had thought, just, naturally when I was younger, that it was like you came up with like De Niro and Pesci and all those guys.
I was 10 years younger than them.
Right.
Okay, so they're older than I am. When I was at the Actors Studio, don't forget, Al and those guys were 10 years, they were ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always behind them, but I started in films 30-something years ago, so I made a lot of movies with Al, with Bob. I made 4 movies with Bob, so people do put us together.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm 10 years younger than those guys.
And you were like a proper, like, struggling working actor
Yes,
before
yeah.
A Bronx
yeah.
Tale.
Yeah, I had a Broadway credits before that, but that doesn't mean anything when you go to Hollywood. They don't give a fuck about that. You gotta be a star. You gotta be somebody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's the way it was. So,
Sorry.
It's okay. That's crazy. So that was the whole thing that I want to focus on. So you were in New York City as like a working actor.
Oh yeah, I was. Well,
You were a little bit older.
I was older. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make it till I was. I was 39 when I made it.
When Bronx Tale hit.
When Bronx Tale hit, yeah.
And you did that on your own, right?
I mean, I'll tell you I'll try to make the story concise.
Make it long.
Yeah,
Love
whatever,
it. Yeah,
baby.
that's what we want to hear.
I was working as an actor going on, but then I also worked as a doorman at a club 1982 called the Limelight.
Right.
If you guys are too young for that.
I think you might have worked with somebody that my brother knows, a friend of our family, a guy named Phil Frack. Phil Fraccazzini. Do you remember a guy named Phil Fraccazzini?
That name sounds familiar.
Okay.
It was
That's
We're
him.
cutting that.
That's him being nice. Going, he knows Bobby, right? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Phil, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fucking 19 calls I got.
Tell
Make sure you
Phil.
mention Phil Frack.
Tell Phil
Frack.
I said hi. Yeah. You tell Phil I said hi. I went to a restaurant once. This guy goes, Chaz, throws his fucking arms around me, right? And my wife is standing
Probably
right
Phil
there. He
Frack.
goes, and the first thing he says, how's your mom and dad? So that threw me. I said, oh, shit. He must be a family.
Somebody, yeah.
Right? When somebody
Of
says
course.
that. I go, no, they're great. And he's talking to me. He goes, I go, yeah, this is my wife. Oh, how are you? He goes, and he turns to the people at the table. He goes, we grew up together, me and this guy, right? Me and this guy were like best friends, right? And I saw he goes, my cousin, he sold that Corvette he kept for years. I went, really? How much you get for it? So he
Get the Kelly Blue Book on
he
that thing?
tells me, I go, whoa, he finally made it. I'm talking about his cousin. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I walk away. My wife goes, who is that? I go, honey, I have no idea.
We're going away next weekend with them. Pack the bags.
But you're right. You just be nice. You go,
Yeah, of course.
I thought that was going to be guaranteed from how much pushback I got from my family. But I'm telling you, he knows him.
Don't make me look bad. Say I know him. I mean, you know what it is? It's 35, 40. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah, people go, Chaz, I get people come over to me. You do a Broadway show, you walk out, you sign autographs, right? I come out and the guy goes, Chaz. I go, yeah. He goes, what? You don't remember me? I go, I'm sorry. He goes, Brother Daggett's class, 8th grade? Like, excuse me.
Yeah, like it was yesterday.
If you're 100 pounds more and no fucking hair.
Yeah, you're not little Timmy anymore, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. I go on these rants.
No, we love it.
But it's also that just thought like everybody, once you get famous, everybody
Right.
goes, I know Chaz.
Of course.
Right.
You're not going, I know Timmy from St. Bobby's or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? Like, everybody remembers you. You don't fucking remember everybody
Right.
else.
Chaz, it's me. Oh, my God, Timmy, look at you.
Timmy, look at you.
You still fucking driving a bus?
No, so I was in New York working as a doorman bodyguard for this guy Peter Gation, who owned the Limelight. Because I used to box. My father was a professional
Were
trainer.
you a bigger guy, or just?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, how I am.
What? You want to get slapped around?
No, he just
The
didn't
fuck?
like.
Chaz, I apologize for my co-host.
Do
Don't
me a
make him
favor.
put the suit on, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, straighten this guy out. Yeah,
Fucking 6'2", tall drink of
I
water.
meant-
What do
I
you
meant-
mean?
Yeah, you just met me. You're not my fucking friend yet. Take it easy. So,
If he starts smacking you around, I'll be loving
so
it.
anyway, so I was working him on his body. I used to, box and whatever. So what happened was, he finally said, hey, I want you to run this club in Chicago. And I said, no, I want to go to L.A. and try my luck there. So I said, he offered me like a lot of money to manage this club, plus having bring a car. I said, no, fire me so I could go to L.A. and collect unemployment. This is how nuts I was. I went to L.A.
I like
As soon as I got there, boom, I got on Hill Street Blues, a couple of those shows that I don't know
I
if you
wrote down
remember.
a couple of those.
Hill Street Blues, Matlock, Dallas.
Right.
Couple of Peter Gunner miniseries. And I was doing okay, okay.
Yeah.
But then I ran out of money again, like in about 2 years later. I was holding that money and I ran out of that. We all know the deal.
Sure. We're going through it right now.
So I said, well, I'll start working as a door again, as a doorman. So I worked at this real swanky club and I was doing well there to supplement my income as I was auditioning. And then one day, I'm at the door. Now, there's 3 things you can never do to a bouncer. 3 things you'll never get in the club. If you do one of these
Those
3
fingers.
things,
Oh man.
if you do one of
Put
these
the
3
fingers
things,
down. You're scaring us.
here are the 3 things, guys. The first thing is you never say the words, "Do you know who I am?"
Of course. Yeah, of course.
You're done. You say that to a guy in the door, fuck you, you're not getting it. What I always say is, if I knew who you are, you'd be on the fucking list.
He'd be in there dancing right
That's
now.
what. The second thing is you never grab the rope. Never like grab the velvet rope.
Yeah,
That's like
that's
a
what-
no-no.
yeah.
And the third thing is you never get in his space, in the doorman's face. This guy walks over, grabs the rope, gets in my face and says, "Do you know who I am?" He broke all 3 rules.
So I broke all 3 ribs.
Because he said, "I'm late. Don't you know?" And I said, "I'm sorry, sir." So then I said something really smart. He goes, "I'm telling you, do you know who I am?" Then I finally said, "Yes, you're the guy who's not getting into
Yeah,
it."
I love it. I love it.
So he looked at me and said, "You'll be fired in 15 minutes."
What?
That's what he said to me. I'll never forget it. He made a big ruckus. People went inside. They called the boss. The boss came out and went, "Swifty." And I went, "Swifty." And I heard the name Swifty. It was Swifty Lazar. Now, you guys are too young. Swifty Lazar was the biggest agent in the world in entertainment, in the world. And me, an actor, just told the
Just
biggest
told him to go fuck
agent
himself.
to go fuck himself. He looks at me. 15 minutes later, I'm fired.
Nuh-uh.
Fired. The boy said, "I love you, man. I love you, Chaz." But he goes, "That was his party. You were keeping him out of his own party." I said, "Oh, shit." So I said, "Look, you've been good to me." I said to the owner, "It's okay. Don't worry about it." I got it back into my 1972 Honda Civic with the fucking dent in it with the water leaking. I got back to my shit apartment. I sat down there at the edge of my bed. I saw this little thing. It said, "The saddest thing in life is wasted talent." It's a card that my father gave me. And he's the one who said that, my dad. I looked at that and I said, "You know what? If they won't give me a fucking part, I'll write one myself." So I went to Thrifty Drugstore on Ventura Boulevard at that time. I got 5 tabs of yellow paper. And I said, "What am I going to write about?" I said, "I'll write about the killing that I saw when I was 9, because I always thought about it." I said, "And I'll talk about my father and Sonny, the wise guy, and how the difference influenced me growing up." So I wrote like 5 minutes, about 5 minutes of it. And that Monday, I got fired on a Saturday. That Monday, I performed it at my theater workshop. So I did exactly what you guys do, comedians. What I got up there and I started doing the monologue and acting some of the scenes. And out of the 5 minutes, I kept 3 minutes. And then I wrote during the week another 10 minutes. Now, that 10 minutes
Tighten
the
it
next
up,
week,
yeah.
I kept 4 more minutes. And I did that for a year.
Jesus.
So at the end of almost a year, I had 90 minutes of shit that worked.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
when you
The
would shut
process,
it, when
yeah.
you process, right? So I said, "Shit, I got 90. I got this one man show." I said, but I never did it all. It's an entirety yet, like together. I did 40 minutes, 20 minutes, and finally I said, "I got to produce this thing." So I called my friend Peter Gation up, and I said, "Peter, you always wanted to be in business." I said, "Could you send me some? Would you like to invest in a play?" I go, "It's not a movie. I know you want to be in movies, but this is a play." He goes, "Let me think about it." I said, "Okay." Next day, knock on my door. I open the fucking door. This guy standing there. He goes, "You Chaz Palminteri?" I go, "Yeah, sign here." I sign there. He gives me a FedEx. And I open it up, and there's like $40,000.
Damn.
In cash or a check?
No,
Oh,
check.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck?
40,000. You think
All
would
5s and 10s.
No, right? So it was a check for like 40 G's. So I called him up. I said, Peter, I said, you didn't even read it. You didn't even know what it. He goes, I saw you in a couple of plays, and I believe in you. You got talent.
That's awesome.
Imagine that.
It's amazing.
So I get the 40,000. So I produced the play myself. I put it up. Fuck, bam! My fucking career just fucking exploded. There was a guy, they were talking about it so much, a guy from the LA Times went to see it, and he just raved about it. It's one of those reviews your mother would write.
Yeah.
It's incredible, genius, whatever. He said these incredible things. Never been done before. It is a one-man show. But see, I did a linear story. I just didn't drink water and didn't do an act. I did a movie on stage by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was coming to see it. Nicholson came, Pacino came, every director came, every producer came.
Are you shitting your pants at that point when they're like De Niro's out there? And
He wasn't there yet. 60-seat theater. We had to move to a 300-seat theater with so many people. Still, I was selling out. They offered me. I get a phone call at my house in my dumpy apartment, $250,000 from the first studio that I called. I got $200 in the bank.
Not in cash. Not in cash.
$250,000. So I said, well, yeah, but I want to play Sonny and I want to write the screenplay. They said, look, guy, you're great, you're terrific.
Let the professionals take over from here.
It's like Heisman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we want a number one guy to write the screenplay. We just want to buy your story. I said, no, it's my fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
I say no. 3 weeks later, 500,000. They called back.
I would have to. Oh God.
I got $200 in the bank. No money. 500,000. Play selling out, but the money that I'm getting, I'm paying Peter back, and I'm paying my people there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm making no money. Finally, I signed with William Morris at the time, and I signed with them.
Great agency.
Fantastic agency, as a matter of fact.
Shout out.
Love you, fellas.
Shout out to William Morris. But let me tell you something about William Morris. I'll tell you, ICM, CAA, and William Morris were all after me, chasing me. A week before Bronx Tale, I wasn't allowed on the block. Okay? Now they're all chasing me. So finally I call up William Morris and I say, look, I can't, this is while this is going on, I called him up, I said, look, I can't make the meeting today. This is a side story. They say, why can't you make it? What happened? You signing with somebody else? I said, no, my car is overheating because I had a hole in the radiator and it would slowly overheat.
72 Honda?
72 Honda.
It's working. It's like the Hollywood story. It's working comic shit.
Right.
You gotta,
exactly.
Yeah.
So they go, stay right there. Don't move. We'll get right back to you. I'm like, what the fuck was that about? Lee Cohen, I'll tell you my ages. Lee Cohen, Fred Westheimer. Fucking great guys, man. They fucking, I get a knock on the door. I open the door. Guy goes, you Chaz Palminteri? I go, yeah, I'm Chaz Palminteri.
You got another 40K? What's going on?
I'm excited, right? every time I see these guys, something happens. He goes, come with me. I go, where you going? He goes, come with me. I go downstairs. I go into the fucking parking lot. Now, you remember, I'm with all broke actors, singers, comics, everything is right. He goes, I look and I see a 1989 brand new Cadillac Eldorado. Ooh. Black saddle interior. Gorgeous. He goes, here's your keys. William Morris got this for you. Don't be late for the meeting.
Damn. A new caddy.
Holy shit.
Are you I'm like, what? What? And now my car's right next to the Cadillac smoking. So, listen to this. So this girl comes over to me smoking. This girl comes over and she goes, Chaz, holy shit. Everybody's coming out. All these broke.
All these broke scumbags.
People are coming out. Chaz, hey!
I said, no, I just got this car. So she goes, Chaz, I need a car. She goes, can I have this one? I said, well, yeah. She goes, how much you want for it? I said, how much you got?